Hey, it's Spencer. I'm out here in the agroforest. I'm going to be showing you a full system management today. Whoa, this is crazy. Why'd you just cut down your whole forest? This is what Syntropic Agroforestry is all about. It's all about this heavy pruning. Basically, you know, we're a windstorm. We came through and just ravaged this whole forest. It's on the ground now. We haven't managed this system in about 3 months. So this is all just regrow, kind of just holding itself down. We have 5 rows to manage. We already did our coconut row in a previous video. So that would be our 6th row. And our rows are about 105 feet long. So the procedure is to come through first. We're gonna take down these grasses that I'm standing in here. You can see we've got some nice, you know, grass over here, some grass over there. This grass is, you know, 1 meter, 3 feet tall, almost 4 feet tall in some places. So I'm going to come through with the weed whacker with the metal blade. I'll show you that blade right now. And just take it all down quickly. Then we're going to leave it where it stands once we drop it. Here's the weed whacker. So I'll just come through, weed whack all of this down. We'll leave it in place to fertilize and mulch the ground. Then I'm going to come through and cut these naturalized trees out. These trees were here before we started the system. This was kind of an established forest back here when we set this up. So these trees have been really great, but it's time for them to come out. They're creating too much shade. You know, it's really bright out here right now, and look how much shade there is. And I'll step into there in a minute to show you how it's really shady over there. So we need to take some of these naturalized trees out. Not too many in this row. If we step into this row, you know, we can see there's some more here. And then if we step into this row, there's even more, you know, one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here. So those are creating just way too much shade out here right now. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and for this much shade to be in the understory is a little bit, it's a little too shady. And then another thing is we've got some cassavas out here. These were an experiment to see if they can just handle living in the rock in the middle of the inner row, in, you know, dappled to medium shade, and if they can produce us any food. I'm not very hopeful. They've been out here about a year. They're not very big of plants. So at this point, they're kind of in the way. So it'll just be kind of, we'll pull them out, we'll check them out, we'll see if it was worth it. If it's worth it, we'll plant some more. If it's not worth it, they'll just, you know, we'll just cut them down. So, you know, always running a little bit of experiments and whatever. But as we can tell, you know, the grass in here also isn't as thick as that other row we were just in because there's so much more shade. So we really need to get all these little trees out and really open it up. So once we get these naturalized trees out of the center here, then we're going to come through and manage the rows themselves. And that's going to be mostly managing the sunflower, cutting down the shampoo gingers that are starting to die back. And then, you know, just minor touching of the other trees and stuff that need to be, you know, just kind of managed a little bit. So I'll show you that whole process. We'll do a time lapse of it. We'll pop in and show you kind of some of the steps as we're going along. You know, once I get the grass down, then we can really see the rows. Once we get these trees down, then we'll be able to really see the inner rows. So this is an exciting management. This is about a year old. This is kind of, it's getting to the point where it's kind of starting to become stagnant because of these trees. You know, they're kind of just sitting here stuck. Oh, a bee up there in the acacia, that's nice. All right, let's get to it. of our progress right here. So we worked this row yesterday. So just coming out to check it out, see how we kind of manage things. We cut some things up, we topped some things, we cut a lot of things out completely. Got the peach palm some room, got the acacias pruned up nicely. Got some ironwoods there. Kind of just look at the row quickly. So this row is managed, and then I'm going to pop through this side. This row has not yet been managed. So as we can see, the acacias are a little tall, so we'll be bringing them down a little bit, somewhere around 8 to 10 feet tall. We'll be clearing some of the sunflower. Most of it's getting cut down to the ground. We're topping up some of the smaller acacias. Probably be limbing up some of the pumuli. Yeah, just cutting some stuff back. So as we can see, this row's unmanaged at this moment. Our puis are still down here, so we'll be managing that. Durian right there, looking really nice. Got a little bit of shade up above it, just for a moment. So yeah, just in between managements, we'll continue the time lapse, and then we'll come check it out again at the end. We're all done working the rows, and we've got just one more task left, and that's going to be managing a couple of trees that have some lilikoi on them, some passion fruit. So this one here has got it's an inga, a couple ingas with some passion fruit vines on it. So we're going to come and we're going to top those. We got to manage this avocado here. Probably just cut it in half, top it, and then tip it. We've got this albizi here. We're going to top that one. And then we've got all those ingos and avocados over there that we also want to top, so the passion fruit vine doesn't keep climbing upward on them. So we'll show a time lapse of that, and then I'll walk around and show the whole system. All right. I'm out here in the agroforest, going to show you our finished product of our full system management. So this was the heavy prune of our system. A little bit of context, the system, our oldest row is about 1 year and 4 months old, and our youngest row over here is about 9 months old. So we started over there and kind of worked our way this way, and we've got more room over that way to do 3 more rows. That's where we've got all those trees that we're going to cut down fairly soon, make some more rows over there. So yeah, just kind of a quick scan through, you know, will show basically we cut every single tree out here. I'm standing in that area where in that previous video, the start of this video, this area was full of trees, and now we can see there's no trees. So yeah, this is what Syntropic Agroforestry is all about. It's all about the hard management, the hard pruning. Basically, you know, we're a windstorm. We came through and just ravaged this whole forest. It's on the ground now, you know, and here it is rotting. So this is going to turn into nice mulch for our trees here. We got a little Amazon tree grape doing great. Little Chompadek in here doing awesome. Got some pineapples. So there's a ton of trees out here. And yeah, we cut every single one of them. Let's just kind of look around over here. You know, we can kind of see our stuff, and it might look kind of harsh out here. It might look kind of intense out here, but this is actually what the trees want. They want this type of disturbance in order to push forward with their growth. You know, it's really nice out here to be in the shade and to be working in the shade, but I recognized that the system was getting kind of stuck and stagnant. So it needed this heavy disturbance to come in and reset and to revitalize and re-strengthen all of our plants out here. So now everything's like shocked, you know, having this heavy sunlight on them. So that's going to make them vigorous. So yeah, I guess I want to talk a little bit about some of our pruning techniques. Let me see if I can find a tree right around here to go and have a look at. Let's just walk over here to this avocado tree. So we've got 2 major types of management with our trees that we're doing out here. We're doing, we're lifting the skirt on some of these trees. So this one, right, came up here. I cut all these off, all the branches, or all the leaves, I mean, and left it with just a couple leaves up there. So that one we're lifting up. So that's a timber tree. We're trying to get it taller. So once we get our trees up to the height that we want them, then we top them. So yeah, here's a good example over here. Yeah, like look at, let me go on the other side for the sunlight. See this tree right here? We topped it up to where we wanted it, and then we cut off the head of it. So that one is going to resprout out of the top, give us a little shade over our little durian right here. So that's our high pollard. And then we've got our top and tip that we like to do, like on this avocado, where we cut off the top of it, you know, and then we tipped every single branch. So we call that topping and tipping. So that's going to make that, you know, kind of branch out more. So that's creating a canopy right there for it. As we can tell, there's nothing below it. And then it's giving nice, good space for our other things down here to be able to shoot up through it. With the timber trees, you know, kind of like that other big one over there that I just showed you, I just tipped them up. So take all those branches off. And then we've just got, you know, a couple leaves up at the top. Nothing else on the whole thing. So these are some of our pruning managements. You know, we got another jackfruit right here, you know, a little top and tip. Another top and tip. And then we can see this is originally where I started the video, where I was right behind with the durian behind me in that tall grass. Tall grass is down, tall grass has been mulched, right? We can't even see our rocks right now. That's awesome. Right, I got to dig down to find our rocks, right? There's one right there. So we got good mulch right here. We got good mulch on all of our edges of our rows. So yeah, it's feeling hot. It's feeling intense out here. This is great. You know, Look at this peach palm. It's thriving. You know, the coconuts are doing great over there. So this is a really exciting management for us. You know, we're really, we're kind of right where we want to be. And it's taken us a little bit of time to get through our naturalized forest that we were working through out here. But we got it down, and now it's pretty much just the plants that we want out here. And I'm sure some of these trees that we cut down in the inner rows are going to come back, which is fine. I'll probably just cut them down again because I don't really want them in here because it's just a little bit harder to manage. But the ones that are in our rows like this one, we're going to want to come back because then we just get easy free biomass, you know, up in the air, whatever. Nice little kukui right there we topped and tipped. You know, this one's just a little volunteer. We got a beach almond right there doing good. And then now that we have, you know, this whole system down, that we can see through it, I can finally, you know, fully recognize where my gaps are, where I have holes in my system, where I'm seeing the deficiencies of my planning. So I'm gonna actually need to come through and plant some more trees. You know, looking down my line here, you know, I've got a tree there, I've got a tree there, but I don't have a tree right here, right? So I need to put somebody right there. Then I've got a tree here, I've got a tree here, I've got a tree right there. You know, so I need, basically, I'm needing some more biomass, and I need something just quick and over and up and over things to give me the stature that I need. You know, these acacias are doing really awesome, but I do need something else in here. So I'm probably just gonna come and plant some eucalyptus because they're just fast growing, they're super easy, I can just plug them right in. Just to get me some more biomass. So those will just be in here a couple years until we take them out, until our fruit trees are really up producing our biomass for us. Oh, and one little pruning tip that we did was, here's an Incala. This tree is, it just keeps shooting up and up and up. And this tree really wants to be a big tree, but we really don't want it to be. So it didn't have a lot of leaves. You know, just these leaves on it. So I just came and I pinched the tip right here. Just with my fingers, pinch it. And that'll hopefully break the apical dominance. And then therefore, hopefully it'll branch. So we can see actually, we look really good in here. You can see the nodes are kind of pushing right there and right there. So it's already trying to do something. And then this one down here, I also did the same thing. So yeah, that's one of the other pruning techniques that we're doing out here. So basically every tree, except for the durian, which I was just kind of scared to tip, but I really should. And then the langsats here, which I'm still kind of pondering, but I think I'm just gonna tip them with my fingers, just to get them to branch out a little bit more. But yeah, all our fruit trees are doing great out here. We saw the gaps, so I'll be really refilling those in. I'm thinking, along with those extra trees that I'm going to plant in, I'm going to be planting in some more Plectranthus barbatus, which is one of my favorite plants out here. I'm actually not seeing, I don't think we planted it in this row actually. Let's pop over to this row and we can check it out. Yeah, this plant right here. Going to be planting more of that. It's actually down here regrowing as the mulch. Awesome plant, awesome succulent plant. Makes a nice big root in the ground, so that root helps break up the soil and stuff. Oh, here's one that we left a little bit more vegetation on. So this plant's shade tolerant. It's mostly drought tolerant. It does a little bit of drooping, but it does come back pretty good. This stuff, we're keeping some height here for our kelidang, which is why we left this stuff a little tall right here, give it a little shade. Yeah, is there any other things? Julie's gonna pop in and she's going to talk a little bit about some numbers.
Hey y'all, Numbers Julie here. I just wanted to kind of talk about how long this whole management actually took us. So I work a full-time job, 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday. So obviously I can't spend all of my time devoted to growing an agroforest. We also have, you know, a pack of mammals, a flock of ducks, and the rest of the garden to manage on top of coming out here to manage the forest. So anyhow, getting into these numbers here, I just wanted to start off with, this is probably about a 1/4 acre that we managed here. The full agroforest is probably right around 1/3 of an acre. There are a couple rows that we did not manage this time around, and also a couple that are not planted out yet. So this management here was of 5 rows and 5 inner rows. They're about 105 feet long, 30 meters long. And so we started off with just doing some weed whacking, weed eating. That was just one person. It took about 30-45 minutes, about 5 or 10 minutes per inner row. Followed that up with the management of all of the kind of weedy volunteer trees in the inner rows. Those were a lot of the naturalized trees that we chose to keep around just because they're really, really good at providing us with biomass mulch. This management, we did take them all to the ground. They may or may not come back. So we may not have this much time spent in the future. Anyhow, how much time did that take? It took about an hour and a half per inner row. So a total of about 7.5 hours, and that is with 2 people. And then we moved on to managing the rows themselves. We removed a lot of tithonia, did a lot of cleaning up, doing those managements of the trees that Spencer discussed earlier in the video. That took us probably a little over an hour a row. I would say about 6 or 7 hours total for all 5 rows. And again, that is with 2 people. So our total time with 2 people is right around 13-14 hours, I would say. So if you were going to be doing this by yourself, I would say, maybe 26, 28 hours, just under 30 hours to manage this whole system, a 1/4 acre, with one person. So really not too bad. We did this since we were working around my work schedule. We did come out and do about 10 pushes. And those ranged anywhere from, the half hour or so for the weed eating to, most were usually about an hour to 2 hours of, doing the row management or some chainsaw work. And we would do that either, once a day, sometimes on work days in the afternoons, or we would come out on the weekends and maybe get 2 pushes in on some days. So we did that over the course of about 2 weeks. Ideally, we would probably get that down to doing all the management within 1 week. We just had a lot of life going on. The weather doesn't always cooperate. We lost a pet for a while and then found a pet. So we did have a lot of other stuff going on that made it kind of stretch out a little bit longer. But all in all, about 2 weeks of kind of focusing on managing this part of the property. Not too long in consideration of everything, especially since we probably won't have to come back down here for, maybe another 3 months for kind of a minor management, and maybe another 6 months before we actually have to do another management that is this severe. Anyhow, I will pass it back to Spencer.
Alrighty, so I just want to say thank you everybody for watching. If you're pretty shocked at this management and you're like, whoa, this is crazy, why'd you just cut down your whole forest? This is what Syntropic Agroforestry is all about. It's all about this heavy pruning. So if you want to watch this come back, we'll have an update about a month. And then we'll also need to be coming out here and remanaging. So we'll probably manage again in about 3 months. And that'll probably just be a grass management, maybe come through, do a little weeding, maybe just kind of monitor, make sure things are kind of growing back okay. That'll be some minor formative pruning on some things. Say like our pollards are coming out lower on the trunk, we'll come and we'll take those branches off of them so that they're just coming up at the top. So just a couple formative things. So that'll be a light management, and then we'll probably again have another heavy management in about 6 months from there. So this system is really not taking a lot of our time. So that's what Julie talked about. So super important to wrap your brain around that. Everybody does have time to be doing agroforestry. A small plot, 50 by 50, everybody should be doing it. It's not that much work, and really there's so much joy and there's so much benefit and there's so much just therapy out here. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you want to come back in and watch some more updates. It's gonna be really interesting to watch this system come back from this crazy management. it's hot out here for me. I don't want to be out here. So I know these plants are like, whoa, but that's gonna make them thrive. So we'll just do a quick pan around, and yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.